Dhaka University has restored academic, cultural, and research ties with Pakistan, reversing a decision that was made back in 2015, almost a decade back. And this comes despite Pakistan's brutal history during Bangladesh's liberation war in 1971. The decision to re-establish ties signals a potential pivot in Bangladesh's foreign policy, one that raises concerns about a growing alignment with Islamabad. Meanwhile, the interim government under Muhammad Yunus has created an environment of instability. The general elections have been pushed. Attacks on minorities have surged since the fall of Sheikh Hasina's government, with many describing the current Bangladesh as a quote-unquote new Pakistan. Religious minorities are facing increasing threats, and dissenting voices like ISKCON monk Chinmoy Krishna Das have been silenced under dubious charges. Meanwhile, there's another aspect to take a look at. Supreme Court lawyer of Bangladesh, Rabindra Ghosh, an outspoken advocate for minority rights, has painted a rather grim picture of Bangladesh. He says, and I quote, "Bangladesh has forgotten its past. We achieved independence in 1971 with India's help, but today minorities are being tortured, displaced, and threatened. There is no law and order in the country. During Sheikh Hasina's rule, there was security, but now there is none. The intention is to destroy the country. They're trying to create a new Bangladesh and a new Pakistan." But for India, the stakes couldn't be higher. A Bangladesh leaning towards Pakistan and China risks destabilizing India's eastern borders, undermining New Delhi's strategic position in South Asia. The situation demands, needless to say, urgent attention as Dhaka's actions seem to rewrite the very narrative of 1971 and its ties with India. The question remains, is Bangladesh forgetting its past? And how far will this new trajectory take it from India's embrace? Joining me here on the broadcast to speak more on this, dissect and decode what's at our disposal, Ambassador Veena Sikri, ex-High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. Good evening. Subir Bhaumik, author and senior journalist, joining us live from Kolkata. Always a pleasure to have you with us, Dada. Ambassador, I'm going to first and foremost, very quickly come to you. Let's get the ball rolling here because we need to understand. Supreme Court lawyer Rabindra Ghosh will play out his code graphic here for the viewers' perusal as well. He's described Bangladesh as a quote-unquote new Pakistan. How do you view the current political situation? I mean, given the recent order of the Dhaka universities as well, is this a new Pakistan that you're looking at, something that got birth and took shape on the 8th of August 2024 rather than back in 1971?
Yes, absolutely. The efforts of those who are controlling the reins of power in Bangladesh, their declared effort is to create a new Pakistan in Bangladesh. Rather, they're talking of this great confederation between Bangladesh and Pakistan. And let me say, you could see it right from the 5th of August, because the very minute that former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina left the country, two things happened. First, the attack on all statues of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the father of Bangladesh, Bangabandhu, as very revered by everybody as father of the nation. Attack on all statues linked with him, anything. His house was burned down. The Indian Cultural Center was burned down. These were the first two targets. And the Hindu, Buddhist and Christian minorities, they were targeted. So that was the very first thing that happened to show that this is going to be the new tendency in Bangladesh, that you're going to go back to what it was pre-1971. And don't forget that those very people, the Jamaat-e-Islami, the major party that was Pakistan's partner in 1971, opposing the liberation war of 1971, leading the Razakars who were killing intellectuals and Hindus and other minorities in Bangladesh in 1971, that very same Jamaat-e-Islami is now the power behind the throne. Muhammad Yunus is unable or unwilling to do anything. He is just mouthing what the powers that be, the Jamaat-e-Islami, the Hizb ut-Tahrir, the Hifazat-e-Islam, the Islami Andolan Bangladesh, all these parties are the ones in charge and they are telling him what to do. And he just repeats what they say. Now, we've seen 3 or 4 specific trends that illustrate that this is the new Pakistan. Now, first we saw that after, since 1971, for the last 53 years, there had been no cargo service between Bangladesh and Pakistan. But we saw very soon after the 8th of August, when the interim regime led ostensibly or led on paper by President Muhammad Yunus, they came to power, they reversed that decision. And we saw a cargo ship arriving in Bangladesh and berthing and being allowed. You see, earlier the rule was, the executive order was that any cargo coming from Pakistan has to be physically inspected, otherwise it will not be let into the country. That executive order was reversed. The cargo ship came, and from now on, all cargoes can come freely without the special checking which was there for Pakistan. They can come to Pakistan, Bangladesh. The second thing that happened we saw was the visa regime. There was a very strict visa regime for all Pakistanis wanting to travel to Bangladesh, and this visa regime was completely reversed. Now there is no special checking required, no Home Ministry special checking required for Pakistan applying, and that was reversed. Now we see again, as you said, with Dhaka University. And I must tell you that why this question of visas, why was it so strict for Pakistan? Because we know that in the years before Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina took over in 2009 for her second term as Prime Minister, and she's been there since then, since till 2024. When I was there as High Commissioner, when Begum Khalida Zia was the Prime Minister, every terrorist attack in India had a Bangladeshi footprint. The Pakistanis would fly into Dhaka and then do whatever they wanted and use the Bangladeshi illegal immigrants in India. Now we've seen today, as you said about Dhaka University, they've reversed another decision which was taken about 9 or 10 years ago, based on, of course, the actual situation which prevailed at that time in 2015 when Sheikh Hasina was Prime Minister, about the kind of students who were coming to Dhaka University, influencing Dhaka University, bringing extremism and fundamentalism and radicalized thought into Dhaka University. So the ties with between Pakistani universities and Dhaka universities and other universities in Bangladesh were snapped, but they have been restored today. And I must tell you, even one more disturbing news that had been announced today. Just 2 hours ago, a team of 8 or 9 terrorists had been arrested in Kerala, and one among them is a Bangladeshi national, which not only shows the ease with which Bangladeshi nationals are still coming to India, and this illegal immigrant from Bangladesh, he's been here since November, and he's a member of the AQIS, the Al-Qaeda in the Indian subcontinent. He's a very close associate of Jashimuddin Rahmani, who was an Ansarul Bangla team terrorist who was released from jail in Bangladesh after August 8th. And this group of 8 terrorists in India, including the Bangladeshi, had come to do attacks against RSS and Hindu leaders. So what more effect can you have, more direct evidence can you have to show that Bangladesh is becoming the new Pakistan?
Well, pertinent points. Many thanks for your opening statements as well. I'm going to bring Mr. Bhaumik here on the discussion. Mr. Bhaumik, do you concur with what the ambassador here is talking about? She's raised these 4 questions. I'm looking at it as a catch-22 for Muhammad Yunus because of the history that the ambassador has also put forth. But given the context of the 1971 Liberation War, let's focus a little bit on the Dhaka University's issue. What's your assessment of this recent decision that has been reversed?
This is a very clear attempt to bring back the days of Pakistan. You see, I'll give you 2 more examples. I fully agree with what Veena ji has said. We never disagree. We are informed about Bangladesh, so we never disagree. The point here that I'll make is, people are making a lot of noise about the attacks on Hindus. That's happening. Attacks on Buddhists also in the Chittagong Hill Tracts happening. But do you realize something? That in the last 3 months, 45 mazars of the Sufis have been demolished by these neo-radicals, the Jashimuddin Rahmani types. And Jashimuddin Rahmani, before he was formally released, was flown to one of his ancestral house to attend some namaz-e-janaza of one of his relatives, possibly his sister, in an army helicopter. That's the kind of, in Bengali we say, Jamai Yadar, the way you treat your son-in-law. That has been extended to some of these terrorist elements. Now, let me also point out that yesterday there was a judgment in the Bangladesh High Court where the accused, the convicted elements of the 10-truck Chittagong Arms Hall, where these people were punished and sentenced for trying to illegally bring in a huge consignment of weapons to the Chittagong court in 2004. Perhaps Veena ji was then High Commissioner there. These were the days of Begum Zia as Prime Minister. That Chittagong case, everybody has been let off, including Lutfur Zaman Babar. All the others have been let off. And Paresh Barua, who was given a death sentence, Paresh Barua being the leader of Alpha, the military wing chief of Alpha, his death sentence has now been commuted to life sentence. So this is like, somebody told me this is a declaration of war against India. It's like on your face. Tum kya kar loge, hum dekhte hain. What can India do? And everybody in this setup all his student advisors. Every day they are drawing a new map of an expanded Bangladesh. Their army veterans are taking to the streets and saying they will conquer Calcutta in 4 years. Arey, yaar, you first go and fight the Burmese army, who are fighting on your border. So the thing is that this government and the powers that be are daring India. तुमको जो मर्जी करना है कर लो. You try to do anything. We are going to do. We are going to take this country. Most important thing here is that the entire legacy of 1971 is challenged. The very ethos on which the nation was formed has been challenged. Secular linguistic Bengali nationalism has been challenged. And the Attorney General, now people are saying, Yunus ko pata nahi, people are, he's not in control. How can the Attorney General of this government, in a court, over the hearing of the 15th Amendment, openly say that the word secularism should be dropped? So, 15th Amendment did not restore, change the situation that was created by General Rashad declaring, Islam as the state religion, but it gave minorities, and this amendment came when Sheikh Hasina was in power. This 15th Amendment gave minorities the right to practice their own religion freely and fairly. On a hearing about this, the Attorney General of Mr. Yunus, Asaduzzaman, goes and says that the word secularism should be dropped because this is a 90% Muslim majority country. The point here is that everything that went into the making of Bangladesh has been put to challenge. There is a concerted effort to bring back the pre-1971 days, bring back the spirit of Pakistan rather than the spirit of 71. And what Rabindra Ghosh has said, I mean, I'm quite sure if he goes back to Bangladesh, he's in India for treatment now, he'll be arrested. And he will be put in jail, much like the man he's trying to defend, Chinmay Babu. But the more important thing is, Hindus have been attacked, we are talking about it. Christians have been attacked, Buddhists have been attacked. Most importantly, Sufis, who popularized Islam in the Bengal frontier historically, who even influenced Raja Ram Mohan Rai, the founder of the Brahmo Samaj. The Sufi mazars have been attacked, the Ahmadiyyas have been attacked, so it's exactly the way things have happened in Pakistan. So if Muhammad Yunus wants to preside over the descent of Bangladesh into an Islamic republic and turn it into a failed state, Bangladesh was doing very well economically, then he is welcome to do it. But again, the same thing that we see in Pakistan, an anti-Indian rhetoric. At the end of the day, my friend,
What I was coming to next.
Essential commodities don't reach there. Today, green chili, which is an important thing for a Bengali food, 1,200 rupees a kilo.